Hello, everybody. Welcome on into baseball here on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex. I forgot to put my little baseball thing there because I was doing different stuff. It's been a busy day of content creation here on the channel. I had to get a taste test recorded. I had to react to the terrible news of the baseball day. MLB The Show 26 coming soon. They gave us a release date, by the way, which is very exciting. But welcome on in. We're playing some baseball here inside. Well, we're watching baseball here inside of MLB 11, the show on PlayStation 2. Thank you for joining me. I have 4 games for you, as always. We'll talk more about the cover athlete here in a little bit, because they're actually the first game up. We have the Athletics taking on the Yankees. The Royals are taking on the Guardians. Cubs, Phillies, Braves, and Rockies. I know we've watched a lot of Rockies baseball in the last week, but these are all playoff competitive teams. I wrote down the storylines for all of them. Let's start with the Athletics. The Athletics are tied for first place in the American League West with my beloved Mariners. They are tied for the top spot, or the only spot in the AL wild card, with the Mariners and the Guardians. The Yankees, they're in first place in the AL East. They're pretty good. Their story's not that exciting. The Royals, also the same kind of scenario. They are first place in the AL Central, but they're playing the second place team in their division, the Guardians, who are also tied for that AL wildcard spot, like I mentioned. The Cubs are second in the AL Central, or the NL Central, excuse me. They're 4 games behind. They're 4.5 games back in the NL wildcard. You might think, Sean, why is that so exciting? Well, because the Phillies, they're tied for first in the NL East. They're 2 games up on the Rockies, Diamondbacks, and Braves for the NL wildcard. The Braves and the Rockies playing each other. The Braves are 2 games back in the NL East and the NL wildcard. And then the Rockies are tied for first in the NL West and 2.0 games back in the NL wildcard. We have some races happening, and thankfully these teams are colliding and playing each other, which hopefully will lead to a bit of a messy situation. Let's jump in to our first game. Is the Yankees, which is kind of fortuitous due to the news of the day, as far as MLB The Show releasing their cover athlete. Look, the cover looks nice. There's a little bit of the World Baseball Classic thing in there. I get it. I got it. I don't like that it's Aaron Judge. I just think it sucks. But that's okay. That's okay. Walkoff I put a little short up on YouTube, and Walkoff was like, hey, J-Ram should get a cover. I was like, you're on fire. You are on fire with your suggestion. Like, I hope you hear that and read that comment in like the whatever voice. Athletics 32-27. The Yankees 33-26. Yankees record not as good as you might think. They are on a losing streak. I think they're on an L3 right now. So that record has come down a little bit closer to 500. But they are kind of running away with it in the AL East because the Orioles and the Blue Jays haven't really been able to take as much of an advantage as you would want them to try and to make it a race in the division. Jacoby Ellsbury is the center fielder. He is leading things off for the Oakland Athletics. Vladimir Guerrero in right. Kevin Youkilis at third. Adam Lind at first. Hideki Matsui in left. Keelan Ahue is in the designated hitting spot. Clint Barmas is the shortstop. Jose Lopez at second. Brian Schneider is the catcher. Tim something. Who's the NBA Jam guy? Basically the Midway Arcade Sports guy. On fire. He's on fire. Anyway, I hope that was the way that was performed, because that's how I wrote it. Zach Miner is 4-6, 5.72 ERA, 11 games, 28.1 innings pitched, 39, 10, and 14 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Welcome on into baseball here on the channel. A lovely Tuesday evening. We'll have 4 more games for you tomorrow, and if things keep kind of meshing and mashing, we might see some of these matchups multiple times as we are in the final kind of home stretch of the season. It is June 10th. The season ends on July 4th, or June 11th, excuse me, and it ends on July 4th. So there's 20-ish days left, and most of the teams have a couple days off, so there's probably about 20 games. Well, hang on, we can do some math. Everybody loves when we stop everything and just do math. Hold on, let's go all chat. Let's pop that back up. Pop this up. Streams, no. That, yes. What? The Yankees are 33 and 26. That's 59. And then, yeah, 59 and 59. And it's 82. 82. 23. Okay, so maybe not quite as close as I thought. Because there's still like 24, 25 days left. I guess that makes sense. There's 25 days left because you include today. A couple days off, 23. Okay, that makes sense. But we are hitting that home stretch. I don't know how many more like super meaningful series there are going to be. The Blue Jays played the Mariners. I thought that was maybe going to mean a little bit more, but we'll see. That's the final series of the season. I'm sure there'll be a couple that have some playoff positioning up for grabs. Here's the wind in. The pitch. It is hit foul up the first baseline. And that is in for a strikeout. Wow, nice pitch. Kinda. Like it's so bad it's good. Where's the... You can see him kind of lean in just a little bit. Gets Ellsbury at the bottom of the zone with the strike 3 call. Vladimir Guerrero will step in. 15 RBI with a 351 average. A couple of home runs on the season, including one in Seattle that was the lone run scored in that game after they chanted, "Overrated," at him. We're going to get a gameplay trailer next Tuesday for MLB The Show 26. That's when the pre-orders will kick live. I can officially lock in dates. It'll be March 13th. That will be the day that will be a big long stream. February 27th will be Mascot Madness tip-off day. Friday will be the bracket reveal. It is kind of wild how much this locks things into place as far as... I just replied to your reply. I'll just say it here. I mean, keep the engagement going. I appreciate it. We're hoping to get into some Yankees hate, you know? Sometimes you just you're just looking for a little bit of something, you know? You just want to feel something. Guerrero strikes out swinging, and that is quickly 2 gone here. Super Soak for World Baseball Classic Mode in MLB 26. Can you explain what that is? Because I saw that, and I'm like, it's a mode or a thing that I'll immediately jump into because it's different, I guess. But I don't know what it is. I didn't see anything on the brief posting that I looked at when I put the whole thing up today, which was a little bit that I recorded yesterday and today that I mashed together. I think I did the same thing last year. Either way, I was scrolling through MLB The Show's website, but I didn't see anything specific about what that was. Also, Sony, what are you doing? You have been the most annoying video game company in the world with, and this has been state of plays for years, where the Sony will show a trailer and not give a date, and then in a blog post or a PR email, they will send out a release date. They did it again. Scott Pasednik leads off. He is the left fielder for the Yankees. Marlon Byrd is in center field. Did I say left field? Left field for Pasednik. Bird's in center. Prince Fielder's at first. Hank Blaylock, designated hitter. I don't know why I can't say that flippin' word. Miguel Tejada is the shortstop. Cody Ross in right field. Brandon Phillips at second. Casey Blake at third. Giovanni Soto is behind the dish. I don't know, but I imagine it'll be recreation of the WBC games and schedule and pool play. All right. I can get behind that. At the very least, we take a peek at it. R.A. Dickey is 5-6 with a 4.61 ERA. 11 games, 27.1 innings pitched, 31, 8, and 12 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Just say DH. HD. Damn it. We got him at the HD position. We don't know what HD is. This is SD beauty right here. The duh. Yeah, so on the blog post they put hey, the game is available March 17th. Oh my god, R.A. Dickey, buddy. Is he a knuckleball guy? That is a nice play. That might be the best defensive play we've seen all season. We've seen some nice dives, some nice grabs. But he was diving away from first, turned, gave it the kind of short hopped the first baseman in what I would say is a good way because it gave the first baseman plenty of time to work with it. And it's 1 out. Yeah, so March 13th is the deluxe edition date, which is fine, fun. Man. We love an R.A. Dickey pitching day, huh? Who do we dislike more, R.A. Dickey or Kuroda? It's Kuroda. Kuroda? That is rolled to the third base side. Euclid comes up with it and fires to first in time. Couple of speedy. I didn't realize how quick the batters were, those top two hitters. Prince Fielder takes a pitch outside for a ball. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. How do you feel about the cover athlete? And the pitch is inside. That's a really good take. Really nice take by Fielder, because that looked like it was going to be good, kind of over the middle, then it just dove inside. It's that low inside corner. I think with the 2-0, can be a little bit more passive. I think the temptation would be to just like get your A swing off and go for it, but that is outside for a ball. I should not be mad about the release date thing because they gave us a release date, which they don't typically do. Here's a wind and the pitch. It is in for a strike. I hate the Yankees, but I do like Aaron Judge. He's a class act and a funny guy. Yeah, I would argue he's probably the most likable Yankee of my lifetime. I don't think that's even really that close. Fielder drives this deep. It is gone. Into the shrine? Whatever it is. Out there in center field. His 200th career home run. Congratulations, Prince Fielder. Probably would have got there a lot sooner if he wasn't playing 3-inning games, but this was crushed. He looked at 4 pitches before taking the bat off his shoulder or so, and then just ripped it into center. Fielder gets high fives in the dugout, and Hank Blaylock, the duh, coming up. DHT, dang it, the DH. Comedy. The righty winds and fires. Blaylock takes a big swing at it, but swings over the top of it and misses. 0-1. 2 gone. And, ooh, nice snag at first. It's 1 hit and 1 run via the solo home run. Lind Matsui and Kaahue. Adam Lind, 318 average, 7 home runs, 24 RBI. I'm going to double check the website and see if they said anything else about the MLB. Stop hitting L. TheShow.com. Pre-orders February 3rd at 9 a.m. I gotta rush to pre-order a game. Hold on. Latest news. Oh, because it was that one. It was that. That's in for a strike. I was actually glad that I kind of scrolled through this a little bit. Official gameplay drops next week. Digital Deluxe Edition pre-orders. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's rolled to the third baseman. Stands and fires. There is the out. This year's cover features Aaron Judge in his Team USA World Baseball Classic uniform. So stay tuned to learn more about what that means for Diamond Dynasty in the show. Homage. Okay, so they really did not do a whole lot with that. All right, good to know. Here's the righty's wind and pitch. It is a pitch. The cords are everywhere. I'm doing too much. 2-0. One gone here. 1-0 game. Here's the pitch. It is rolled to the second baseman. He'll scoop it and fire in time for out number 2. Couple quick outs here for Oakland. I think you could say the same thing for New York as well. Both of these teams, Prince Fielder's kind of the exception to the rule, but it does feel like a lot of these batters have been very aggressive so far. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is lifted into left field. Sky high. And that really carried towards center. Left fielder had to beat on it the whole time and makes the catch. A's shut down in order. Tejada, Ross, and Phillips, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, coming up for the Yankees in the home half of the second. Tejada is batting .287 with 3 home runs, 13 RBI. No stolen bases. Here's the wind and the pitch. Dickey gets a strike at the knees, 0-1. Here's the next pitch. That is lifted out towards right. And gone. Okay, a couple of big swings by this Yankees team, but they are up 2-0. Couple solo home runs. That one wasn't quite as sure a shot, because he was hustling out of the box. The other one, Fiedler was just admiring it. But this is the damage, or the danger. This damage, I guess this damage is the danger. That's a fair sentence. 340 majestic feet out to right field. Sometimes it can just be really hard to get a read on that kind of pitch. Lord knows we dealt with enough Fernando Valenzuela to roll our eyes at that one. Here's the wind and the pitch. In for a strike. That is lifted into foul territory. Okay. That's my least favorite chant. It's just somebody just clapping a bunch. Try to get a hold of that one. I mean, the Yankees starting to feel it a little bit here against Dickey. 0-2. Timing just a little off as he pulled it foul. It'll stay outside. So a nice take. And it's 1-2. Righty winds and fires. Ross drives it foul again. He's going to want both of those pitches back because those were deep down the right field line. Just a little early on him, but that's where you are. I'm sure these pitches are not coming in very quick. Instead, he'll throw it, hit it towards first base. A nice play by the first baseman. Hits the pitcher R.A. Dickey covering. It's a nice diving stop there. That Lind, I believe. Look, I don't love the Yankees, but when you're a fan of the Mariners and they are tied for first place in the AL West, and you got to see if the Oakland Athletics can lose, this is a positive. It's going to be a positive for both the Mariners and the Guardians. I believe the Guardians trailing the Royals by about 3 games. One and oh, the wind and the pitch. Hit to the shortstop, fires falling away, and that is out number 2. Casey Blake, 229 average, couple home runs, 10 RBI. Dickey winds and fires way inside, shuffles his feet. Lucky he didn't hit him. It's a ball, 1 and 0. And that stays high, 2 and 0. The Athletics, just a bloop and a blast behind, but with no hits, it feels hard to believe that they're going to be able to summit a 2-run mountain. And now Dickey getting a little bit wild, and oof. Lucky to get that pitch to get driven foul. 2 and 1. And that is knocked into right field. So the inning will stay alive. First hit for the Yankees that is not a home run. 2 solo shots, one in the first, one in the second, and now a single to break up the home run hit streak at 2. Giovanni Soto rounding out the lineup. 3 home runs, 11 RBI. Soto has to shuffle his feet as that one was way inside. That one misses as well. So second consecutive batter that he started 2 and 0. Can't have it in this situation with 2 outs. Looking to keep this game tight. Foul ball. See if Soto can straighten one of these out. Goes to 2 and 1 after the long strike. Righty. Ooh, gets a strike in there. Dropped in. Soto elects not to swing. Makes it 2 and 2. In the bottom of the second, 1 on. 2-0 game with 2 outs. And that'll be rolled toward the shortstop. He will go the long way toward home, or first base, excuse me. And that will be the out. So, New York picks up a couple of hits. One of them a solo home run. It'll be up to Barmes, Lopez, and Schneider to keep this game going. Oakland down 2. Heading to the top of the third. Clint Barmes. Here's a wind and the pitch. It is rolled up the first base line. It's going to be fair. Nice play by the first baseman and a good job to make sure that a good job by the pitcher to make sure that he came over to cover it. That is a quick 1 out. Thought it was going to give us the stat about him retiring 7 straight batters. But it does not. The righty. That's a nice pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Like the aggression. He's throwing it in the zone. I think that might have been a pitch that he wanted a little more inside, but it kind of drifted over the plate. Either way, I'll take it. These pitchers can get way too cute sometimes. Thought about swinging, but held it back, and it's a ball. One and 1. And that's inside. And rolled foul. Here comes the 2-2. Nice at bat here for the Athletics as he's seen a lot of pitches. I feel like all the other Athletics have been out by this point. But he'll look at a full count. Here comes a payoff pitch. And he'll work a walk. All right, it's not a bloop, but it's a base runner. Lopez does a nice job there. First base runner of the day for the Athletics. The yellow on the helmet is a little surprising because typically it's just a white text, but I like that it matches what the jersey is doing, so good for you, Oakland. Proud of you. I mean, not proud of you for, oh no, is that a double play to second for one? The turn to first in time. That'll do it. 2-0. Your final Yankees over the Athletics. 2 solo home runs. I didn't touch a button. It just said you're done. Zach Miner's your player of the game. He had 3 innings pitched, no hits, 2 strikeouts, just the walk, but able to erase it immediately with a double play. Fielder's 8th and Tejada's 4th. Miner improves to 5 and 6. R.A. Dickey falls to 5 and 7. That is very quickly game number 1 done. It'd be interesting to actually go back and see which game is the shortest of the season. This would have to be in the running. 2 solo home runs. The only other base runner was a hit. Huh. All right, the Royals have been able to take over first from Cleveland here in the late stages of the season. We will flip the thumbnail. And when we get that record, we'll see exactly how far behind the Guardians are. Oh, do I have it? Oh, good, I have it. I have it handy. The Kansas City Royals are 35 and 24. The Cleveland Guardians are 32 and 27. So a clean sweep here by Cleveland would give them a tie for first place in the Central. If you're, what was the three-way tie? Was in the NL, I believe. It's a 3-way tie technically. In the AL between the Mariners, the Athletics, and the Guardians. So the Athletics would need Cleveland to fall here to drop them with them. And the Mariners now in a good spot to take control of the AL West again. Austin Jackson is the center fielder. He'll be leading things off. Placido Polanco at third. Mark Teixeira at first. Jeff Frazier is in right. Brian McCann behind the dish. Alexi Ramirez is the shortstop. Josh Willingham in left field. Neil Walker at second base. And Alex Gonzalez is your DH. Smacked my headset with the microphone. Now my ear hurts. We're off to a good start. Nelson Figueroa is 8-2 with a 2.36 ERA, 11 games, 34.1 innings pitched, 20-12 and 20 hits, walks, and strikeouts. I gotta apparently rotate the wheels on this flipping chair. Keeps just spinning to the left. Just sit there. All you have to do is just sit. All right, welcome to Progressive Field. We have an old uniform for Cleveland, and pitch number 1 means we are underway. Yankees victorious 2-0 over the Athletics if you're just joining. Oh, I did not catch us up on scores. I think there were only a couple before that Yankees game, and nothing between that and this. The righty winds and fires, hit well up the first baseline, foul. Walkoff, are you glad that the Giants are starting with their Yankee series right out of the gate? Went for the bunt but missed it. Would have been a ball, but did not get the bat back in time. 1-2. I'm kind of relieved that the Mariners get a series against the Yankees as the big looping off-speed pitch misses. Just because the Mariners did not play well against the Yankees at all. They were 1-5, 1-6, something like that. So to have those games kind of out of the way early, and you're not relying on them later in the season. I said it last year before the Mariners season started, that the Mariners could not rely on themselves to beat the Dodgers to get into the playoffs. Like the Mariners had to have their playoff set by the time that Dodgers series rolled around. And I was correct. They got swept by the Dodgers. We'll look at the 2026 Seattle Mariners schedule. Placido Polanco is up after the out up the first base line in foul territory. That's inside for a ball. Where is... Okay, so then where is the Dodgers series? Because if they can get the Dodgers early as well, that'd be great. 4 against Cleveland. 1, 2, 3 against the Yankees. Thank God. Kansas City, Atlanta, Chicago. That is knocked into right field for a base hit, and they will put one on here with one out. San Diego, Chicago, Kansas City, Athletics, Arizona. 90s pin day. Hold on. Whoa, whoa. Oh, first 10,000 fans. Okay, cool. I don't know what that means. That's not helpful. All right. We can't get distracted. First, the Mets, Tigers. That wretched 4-game set against the Baltimore. Oh, my God. So we have to play 4 games in Baltimore. Meh. I like it when they open versus a team in the same division. Fair. I like it end. I like what the NFL does where it forces all of the teams to play divisional opponents. I was kind of bummed that none of the Mariners' last 6 games were against the Rockies and the Dodgers. Like, oh, that sucks. Looking at the schedule now, 7 of 10 games will be against Baltimore between, as that is foul, between Monday, June 8th and Thursday, June 18th. That is miserable. That might be the worst stretch of games that we ever have. And that's only like a me thing. I don't think anybody else has a problem with the Baltimore Orioles as a Seattle Mariners fan. It's just me and the MLB The Show. Okay, so they play in Los Angeles toward the end of July. Okay. That's good news. Johnny Parada from the Twins. Parada from the Twins for cash. DFA's pitcher Jackson Howard. Okay, so they get a catcher. All right. Well, let's get you set with the Cleveland Guardians lineup. Julio Bourbon is the center fielder. He will lead things off. Victor Martinez behind the dish. Carlos Gonzalez in left. Jason Giambi at first. Kenneth Bolton in right. Eric Abar is the shortstop. Brent Morrell at third base. Raji Davis, the DH, and Mysier Estruis at second. I can't remember. I'm sure we've talked about it before. Would you prefer 4 8-division teams when they expand and realign, or 4? No. 7-3 for Tommy Hunter, 3.38 ERA, 11 games, 32 innings, 36, 6, and 14 hits, walks, and strikeouts. 8 4-team divisions or 4 8-team divisions. Either way, with even numbered divisions, you're guaranteed you can get a divisional matchup. Julio Bourbon. Oh, yeah, he had a little zest on that Bourbon. Hell yeah. All right. Wind and the pitch is rolled foul up the third base line. Oh and 1, winds and fires. Ooh, they're going for a bunt. He is hustling his buns up the first base line. Not in time. Actually, they say not in time when the throw's not in time. It's not a bad bunt. I think it goes a little bit too close to the pitcher. If he gets that, like, maybe a step or two to his left, makes the pitcher go just a little bit further, you can get there. That does feel like a very Cleveland thing to do, though, is to just go, like, we're going to bunt now. Which, hey, it's part of the game. Bring it back, I guess. Pitch is inside for a ball. 1-0. Might just be the angle that we have, but that did not look like a strike, but the umpire calls it one, and it is 1-1. One gone here in the bottom of the first. The righty winds and fires inside for a ball. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It is rolled to the second baseman, who comes up and fires it to first in timeout number 2. Carlos Gonzalez next up. No home runs, 7 RBI, 258 average with 4 stolen bases. In for a strike. And that is sliced foul. That ball's foul. Charge. And that's inside. I like how even if the uniforms themselves aren't super noticeable, the catching gear is. It is like several shades lighter. Like, it looks like it's from a different video game. Like, the lighting's all weird. Nice job to foul it off and stay alive. Couple of takes for balls. Makes it a 2-2 count. That is fouled away. Umpires, I feel like the umpires made a couple of funky calls, so I can understand why you would swing at that. The count remains 2-2, 2 gone. And he'll take ball number 3 to fill up the count. This is a good, tough at-bat. This is what they were talking about on Talking Baseball recently. Just like, hey, get some guys who are going to see some pitches. Doesn't have to be a home run, doesn't have to be a hit, whatever. Just wear the pitcher down just a little bit. That'll be rolled into right field, and the batter wins that battle on a payoff pitch. Or a 2-2, I believe is what it was. No, it was a payoff. Hold on. Hold on. It indeed was a payoff pitch into right field. And Cleveland working here with some 2-out damage. Or a 2-out hit, I should say. Jason Giambi steps in. That is inside for a ball. Let's go. Let's go, baseball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is driven deep out to left center field. Center fielder comes over in, makes the grab in the gap. Each team with a hit, but they can't do anything with it. Frazier, McCann, and Ramirez coming up. No score heading to the top of the second. Goose egg in the home run column for Jeff Frazier, but not a terrible batting average at .258. 8 RBI and a stolen base. Here comes the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Nice take. Sometimes the edges of the zone get a little funky, but gets the call in his favor. Maybe doesn't get the call in his favor on that one, so I think that makes that other pitch a little bit better. 1-1. Shakes his head no. Doesn't want the pitch. You better be right. Gets that swing and miss. 1-2. And that's maybe a little too cute. It stayed way outside. Very easy take there. Make it 2-2. The righty winds and fires as that is fouled up the first baseline. And swung on and missed. Got that pitch to dip just below the bat of the batter. That'll bring up Brian McCann, 264 with 4 home runs and 14 RBI. That's rolled. Oh, it's going to be off the player. He's just standing there? Okay, very weird. The first baseman got hit with the ball, and he said, you know what, I'm done. I don't want anything more to do with this. Those are some of the trickiest plays to call up the first base line. Oh, wait, hold on. What? Did he hit that off his foot? We had a really weird hit the other day. What happened? There was something about that second replay that looked funky. Okay, it definitely didn't hit off his foot, but it's the same thing that happened the other day. It hits in foul territory and spins fair. It's in the box. Wow. God, and that hit right off his head, huh? Oh, no. It missed low? Or it went through? God, you stupid camera. Sorry, everyone. I know I'm sure it's annoying. So it goes through his arm. The ball is like inside him. Where's the ball? Oh, his armpit deflected it. This game is perfect, everybody. The best game ever. I mean, I didn't forget. Yeah, we try to avoid it when we can, but sometimes the matchups are too interesting to pass up. It's so bad. Wild to think that it was worse in the 40s. They really should have been the Cleveland Spiders. Safe. The throw down to second is not in time. Wow. I thought he had him. Oh, and the glove is all different too. That's weird. I forget about that. He stood there for 6 minutes going, and I'll tag him now. Safe. Dang it. So a runner in scoring position here in the top of the second. Kind of a funky hit. I mean, if any team is going to get a garbage weirdo hit like that, it's the Kansas City Royals. He is safe. And it is 1-0 Kansas City. So Willingham steps up, a runner on first, one gone, and a 1-0 Kansas City lead. Kansas City can do themselves a real favor here by taking out Cleveland in this series. The double play ends the inning, but not before they pick up a run on a couple of hits. 1-0. Bolton, Abar, and Morrell coming up. Kenneth Bolton, one of the invisible men. That is missed by the catcher all the way to the backstop. Does not matter. It's a 1-0 count, but doesn't matter because there's nobody on base. That's when you can let those go by. That pitch misses outside. 2-0. Here's the wind and the pitch. In for a strike. 2-1. I am with you. I see the logo. I just go like, oh, that's... I've moved on. It's jarring. All right, here comes a 3-1. Batters love a 3-1 pitch, and he fouls that one away. Into the dugout, and it'll be a full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Righty winds and fires. Fouled away, so a good job to stay alive. And it'll be out to the second baseman. Okay. Took some pitches, but resulted in how most of the at-bats have ended for Cleveland with an out. I guess all of them. It's a double play, I think, took away the one hit was erased. One gone here to start. And a strike that looked like it was going to start to kind of sail inside, but then leaked back out over the plate a little bit. Gets the first strike, 0-1. Righty is ready and misses that one inside. Second time a pitch has gotten past the catcher to the backstop. Could be something to keep our eye on as we work our way through the rest of this game. Just a one-run lead. I can get a runner from first to second or second to third. They won't steal home, though, so I guess that would be the positive. Here comes the 1-2. It is rolled over. Shortstop charges. Picks it up cleanly and fires to first in time for out number 2. Brent Morrell is in the box, ready to go. 2 gone. That is in for a strike. Righty winds and fires. Thought about it. Did he go? He did. The animation surprisingly, noticeably different at this point. I thought that it was just unnecessary drama, but he's pretty decisive calling the strikes versus kind of waiting and going, he's safe. He did not go. Does not get the call at the bottom of the zone. It will remain a 2-strike count, 1-2. Just needs one more good pitch to get out of this innings. That's not going to be it. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's rolled over to the first baseman, who steps on the bag in time for an out. So Walker, Gonzalez, and Jackson coming up for Kansas City. They lead 1-0. He is batting pretty well, .333. No home runs or stolen bases, but does have 8 RBI. So that's a positive. That gets a strike call at the bottom of the zone. Umpire apparently has somewhere to be. Hey, 1-0 game. Let's wrap this up. And that misses. Okay, another pitch goes by. Obviously, that's not the Kansas City catcher, but it's the third pitch that we've seen in the last inning. Missed the ball to the backstop. We can keep an eye on it for Cleveland. I don't think it's really going to matter, but I guess you never know. You don't know what you don't know, huh? Here comes the 1-2. It is swung on and missed. That was a very aggressive swing. That pitch was inside. Yeah, that was on the line of on the white of the left-hand batter's box. And he went for it, which is a little surprising considering, one, how bad that pitch was, but two, his average is pretty good. But nevertheless, it is one gone here in the top half. That is a strike. Nice location on that outside corner through that kind of that off-speed looping pitch, and got it in a beautiful spot. Oh, 1-1. Wind in the pitch. It is driven foul. Oh, 2. And it gets by the pitcher yet again. That's 4, 2 on each side. It's a ball. 1-2. Here's the pitch. It is a called strike 3 on the outside edge. That is likely a good location. Oh, it's a great location. 89 miles an hour on the four-seam fastball. No break. And just absolutely dotted it. That's a beautiful pitch. Austin Jackson, the leadoff hitter, back up to bat. He's 0 for 1. Yeah, because just about everybody is 0 for 1. I mean, Kansas City does have 3 hits. That is a foul ball. So that's how things will get started for his second at-bat. 2 gone here in the top of the third. Cleveland looking to keep this just a 1-score game. Here's the wind and the pitch is outside. If I were Kansas City, I'd be a little more aware of where he's going in the zone, because he really threw a nice pitch in that high outside corner to the righty to set him down. Here's the pitch. Jackson drills this out towards left field. It's going to hit the wall off the bounce. The throw is into second, surprisingly closer than I thought. That is a really good throw from the outfield wall. Ball did get out pretty quick. I think that helps the defense a little bit. A good speed from Jackson puts him in scoring position as they look to double up this lead. Placido Polanco, he's 1 for 1. Wasn't able to do anything with it. I think it was a double play right behind him. That is hit up the third base side into left field. That will score a run, so he will be 2 for 2. A couple of singles with 1 RBI. It's 2-0 Kansas City. We're going to start putting some nails in this Cleveland season. There's still a ways to go, so it's not maybe a little dramatic, but sometimes it's fun. I guess I wouldn't be a good sports talker guy if, you know, I spoke in reasonable stances. You have to have the really stupid take that Ryan Clark did, that if you win the Super Bowl, it's not real because Patrick Mahomes didn't make it or whatever. Moron statement, he said. I don't love that lives rent-free in my head, but it lives rent-free in my head. That pitch is inside for a ball. One and two outside for a ball. Good sports talker guy is the correct terminology. Thank you. I'll put that in the... There's a hit over to third base. He whips it across the diamond. That's out number 3. Cleveland doubles their lead to 2. Davis, Istruis, and Bourbon coming up. Bourbon looks like he didn't quite get the best photo. I'll be honest. He looks like a little scared, a little hesitant. I'll put that in my lower third. Pop that up with a little animation that just says good sports talker guy. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is not a strike. Huh. Seemed like it was right at the top of the zone. Looked like it was over the plate. Should be 0-1, but instead it's 1-0. Cleveland just needs a bloop and a blast here to keep this game going. Kansas City maybe the most fraudulent team in this game. The hit that started foul and went fair. They had the worst win of the season we've seen so far against Minnesota, where they got a hit that went through a dude's wrist, and then that game went 8 innings and almost ruined your host's life. Two and one. And they're going to go for the bunt. Third baseman crashes. Pitcher comes up with it. It is a very, very long windup. I don't know why he didn't just give it to the third baseman. It's a really well-placed bunt. We can't take away from where he put that. But the third baseman was coming down to take care of it. The pitcher, who has to then turn all the way around and then double clutch it, well, there's your base runner to get the tying run to the plate. Winning run on deck. Have I talked long enough to jinx Kansas City? I'll check over it first. He is safe. The crowd boos. I should boo as well. Boo! Boo! They're going to put the runner in scoring, runner in motion. I don't know that pitch was good. It ended up being very good because it got the catcher out of his stance way ahead of time. But that looked like a slider that just came out of the hand early and then just was going to be a disaster pitch. It might even be worth it for Cleveland's batter to swing in that situation. The shortstop comes up with it, fires over to first in timeout number 2, and yeesh. Just take a hack at it. The pitcher's up, or the catcher's up out of his stance. That means he doesn't even have to worry about the pop time. He's got your guy. Here's a wind and the pitch. It is inside for a ball. Might be our camera angle. That's another kind of funky call on this one. That is outside for a ball. Sometimes I don't know what the crowd is saying. I need this game to have like a ROM, Or I could just pull the individual audio lines. No one's ever needed that. No one's ever wanted that. Three and oh. Cannot be doing this with 2 outs. You got a 2-run lead. Have to be aggressive. We'll get the strike at the knees. That one was a little funky the other way. This umpire's zone has gotten weird all of a sudden. This inning has not been particularly kind to his eyes. The wind and the pitch. It is drilled foul. Didn't quite have the distance, but still a good hit. Just foul. Full count. Here's the wind and the pitch. The payoff is a walk. Ooh, boy. Looks like he's laboring a little bit out there. Tying run at the plate, winning run on deck. The righty winds and fires, gets the strike on the outside edge. Good pitch. %30 battery is enough for the rest of the night. Turn my Xbox on. Cool. Thanks. He didn't have to turn on. I plugged in a controller. Thanks, Xbox. Xbox on. That is foul up the third baseline. Remember that? Remember when podcasters kept turning off Xboxes? Xbox, power off. Yes. They put a runner in motion again. The throwdown not in time. And that's the difference. I mean, that's why you would want that batter. Seeing that pitch be... I guess if you're the batter, you probably don't know that the catcher's going to get to it. It could sail way out of the way. We've exonerated the batter. It's all good. Everything's fine. Two and two. Runner on second with 2 out. Here's the wind and the pitch outside for a ball. Full count. He just needs one good pitch. Here's the wind and the pitch to the third baseman. Dove over the top of it. The left fielder kind of lackadaisically running towards it. It'll be an RBI single with 2 outs. The third baseman didn't get to it, and the left fielder with just awful effort out there. That is bad defense by the Kansas City Royals. It's going to keep Cleveland alive here. They'll go to the bullpen looking for a save situation. Jim Johnson with 21 games, 3-2 record, 4 saves, an ERA at 1.8, 15 innings, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. What can he do here against Carlos Gonzalez, who was 1 for 1 with a single? He does not have a home run this season. Drama. That's why you're here. The drama. Here's the wind and the pitch. 1 pitch, 1 swing. Foul ball. That would have been the worst way for Cleveland to lose this game. Would be a 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is away from the catcher. We talked about it in the last inning and how that was, we'd have to keep an eye on it. It came back to bite them. That one gets away and puts the tying run in scoring position. Of course, it would be a Kansas City Royals game that drives me nuts. That one is in the dirt. Nicely done by the catcher. Blocks it, keeps it in front of him, and the runner stays at second. The catcher's out there saying, hey, buddy, you have got to throw it to my glove. I don't know why you're not throwing it in my glove. Settle the F down, throw a pitch, and let's go home. Slash the hotel. Big swing and a miss. Nice ride through the zone on that pitch. Makes it 2-2. Cleveland down to their final strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in the dirt yet again. Okay. All right, that fills up the count. Payoff pitch number 1. Righty is ready, and it's a foul ball. We'll do it again. Nice job to get a piece of contact, to drive it foul, just stay alive, see if you can get something that you can hit. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that will do it. Cleveland falls in this one 2-1. They put the tying run in scoring position and the winning run at the plate. He did everything he could to blow that save, but comes away with a save. I believe it's his 5th of the season. And Kansas City kind of escapes, puts a little distance between them and Cleveland in the AL Central. And the Mariners can be maybe the big winners of the day because the Athletics also lost. That was a 3-way tie for the 1 seed, or the 1 spot in the wild card. Tommy Hunter, your player of the game, 2.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, no strikeouts. Jim Johnson, gets his 5th save of the season. Both pitchers now 8-3, following Hunter's win and Figueroa's loss. No home runs for either side, and we will move on to game number 3. That's right, we are already on game number 3. That first one was real quick. And we can also get this god-awful logo off of our stream. This would be a good game to mod and try to strip those out as much as possible. All right. So Seattle plays Detroit. If they win, they have sole possession of first place again. And here it is. The Orioles had an opportunity. I didn't realize. They are 3 games back of the Yankees. Blue Jays win 4-0. That's a game that, as the Orioles, you cannot lose. The Red Sox beat the Rangers. And we watched that Yankees Athletics game. So 4-0 Blue Jays over the Orioles, 2-0 Red Sox over the Rangers. 2-0 Yankees over the Athletics. We watched that, and we watched that. We are going Cubs, Phillies next. So I didn't realize we had 3 of those games right in a row. There you see the American League West standings. A win here would give the Mariners that 1-game lead over the Athletics. Playing the Tigers. Storylines going into this one. The Cubs are second in the NL Central. They're 4 games back. They're 4.5 games back of the NL wild card. The Phillies is a little more important for them, but the Cubs can make a stride here if they can get something going against this Phillies team, perhaps. The Phillies are tied for first in the NL East with the Marlins, and they're 2 games up on a 3-way tie between the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Braves. Hey, guess who plays each other next? The Rockies and the Braves. Welcome on into Philadelphia. The Phillies are 35-24. The Cubs are 31-29. Michael Bourne, center fielder, will be the leadoff hitter for the Cubs. And you can see the Cubs here working with that big lefty lane. Martin Prado in left. Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop. J.D. Drew in right field. Josh Thole? No. Josh Thole. Thole? He is the catcher. Derek Barton at first. Travis Ishikawa. The DH, Alberto Calespo, third baseman, and Ricky Weeks at second. That's your Chicago Cubs lineup. Carlos Silva is 5-3 with a 3.98 ERA. 11 games, 31.2 innings pitched, 25, 10, and 16. Defensive lineup for the Phillies. First pitch is swung on and missed, and we are underway here in game number 3. My live stream thing fell way behind. Hold on. That is drilled into left, and the Cubs are off to a good start. They're going to go for the double as it hits the 329 marker. A stand-up double to lead things off. Come on. There we go. I don't know why. It just seems like it arbitrarily just like falls behind. Just going to post a thing about the fact that there's another new reel up. The righty winds and fires. That is on the outside corner for a strike. Oops. Please. Just hit the question marks. We're locked on. That is rolled to the second baseman. He scoops it cleanly. It's a productive out. It moves the runner from second to third. Not terrible. You don't hate it. Troy Tulowitzki, 22 RBI with 7 home runs, a 289 average. I guess what I should have done was also kind of wrote down who, like, the remaining matchups are. We're probably at a spot in the season where we could do that a little more realistically as far as, like, here are likely the key matchups. I keep looking at that Seattle-Toronto series. It's a 4-game set that starts on July 1st. Cleveland has a big series, I think, toward the end of the season as well. But, like, obviously, you can't write anything in stone because then all of a sudden a team can be out of it. Orioles-Blue Jays felt like it could have been bigger just a couple of weeks ago. The Yankees lose yet another game. They're going to go home, and it is an out. Oh, God. Chicago. I mean, it's just such a bad play. It's right to the third baseman. He didn't even have to make a move. He's just there. He's there. Ready to throw home. Go back to third. It's a strike at the knees. Deacon, do something. And if you're at third and you're in a rundown or whatever, like, at least try to get the runner into scoring position on the back end. 2011, huh? I wonder if we go back further, because we're in 2011 now, right? We're in 2026. This game's in 2011. This Ken Griffey Jr. game, I think, is 1998, is what our head of research was saying. How much more common is that going to be to run at the catcher? We've only seen it work successfully a handful of times. We might have more ejections. Like, in order of, like, kind of the funky things about this game, you would have ejections, runners colliding with the catcher and being safe. The Mariners were one of them. And then you would have the lack of pitch outs or pickoffs. Shin-Soo Choo will get things started for the Philadelphia Phillies. This game is just so weird. Second baseman is Ronnie Belliard. First baseman Justin Morneau. Left fielder Johnny Gomes. Jorge Posada is the catcher. Andres Torres in center. Brandon Inge at third. Gabe Kapler is your DH. Nick Punto is the shortstop. Doug Davis, 1, oh my God, and 11. A 5.57 ERA, 12 games, 32.1 innings pitched. I got so distracted with that record. 1 and 11, 48 hits, 6 walks, 17 strikeouts. Okay, this is maybe not the matchup you want if you're the Chicago Cubs. Shin-Soo Choo is going to lead things off here for the Phillies. Phillies have been one of the best teams in the league all season long. They haven't been as good over the last probably month or so. The Marlins are a team that has been... they've been competitive all season long. You just maybe don't take it based on name value. I think you see the splits. We looked at it, I think, at one point. The Phillies were 17-7, and the Marlins were 14-10. Each team had played 24 games, and there was just something like that plus 10, like really looked good. I think it just kind of plays a trick on your brain, like, oh, they're really going to run away with it. Like, not really. That is somehow not a strike. That was maybe right at the letters, but it's a ball. 3-0. It's got to be hands-off control or take here. Ooh, Shin-Soo Choo goes with a swing. Fouls it away. This is bound to be a strike anyway. You just don't want the out in that situation. Kind of just reminds me of it's like a coach going on the sidelines of a basketball game going like, no, 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 no. Okay. All right. Don't take that shot. All right. Don't swing at that ball. All right. Foul ball. It is unfortunately rolled over for an out, so not a great start there. But batters love swinging at that 3-1 pitch. It's hard to be surprised by. Oh. That's low. I got confused about my lineup thought. Never mind. I was like, oh, one of these teams has a big lefty chunk. It's the Cubs. We're good. Everything's fine. Here's a wind and the pitch. It is scooped by the shortstop. And that is out number 2. It was a very hittable pitch. It just went right to a defender. And not right to, but he does pick it on the run. Nice fire over to first. Bing, bang, boom, 2 gone. The lefty winds and fires to the lefty. Big swing and a miss. 0-1. That is swung on and missed. So an 0-2 pitch on the way with 2 gone. And gets the call on the outside. Batter doesn't agree with it. Gives him a little, get out of here. 1 hit for Chicago, nothing going for Philadelphia. And we are heading to the top of the second. Josh Tolley? Oh, okay, Tolley. A little better. There's something about the TH makes you want to think like. Whoa, way inside. Backs the batter off the bag. Or off home plate, off the dish. 1-0. I'm curious for launch night of MLB The Show 26 if the John Boy gamers will do anything. I really enjoy those streams, but I don't think they put anything on the gaming channel in a while. So I just don't know what to do with it. Hey, hire me. Move me to New York. Fuck it. I'll do it. I'll run your channel into the ground. I mean, run it to great success. Round out to first. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is a strike. Oh, and 1. That is low for a ball. I did put up the full reaction, which is like 15 minutes. Got copyright claim. Brutal. That pitch is low. Comedy clip getting ready to approach 1,000 views. Thanks everybody for watching. Oh, it's at 1,000 views. Nice. That is rolled into center field for a hit. I do feel like the videos I've been uploading haven't been doing super great. The live streams have been good. The shorts have been doing well, but directly uploaded videos are kind of like, I don't know. Of course, we're trying some new stuff, so. And I think I maybe overcrowded my own channel today, but that's all right. That's okay. I'll be taking a look. By the way, maybe we'll do a live stream of it, just like a nice quick live stream. We'll take a look at that gameplay trailer next week when it releases, or when I get home. So it'll be a little later in the afternoon that we'll jump in to do some more baseball. So it'll be another crowded Tuesday on the channel. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see the roadmap for what the stuff is. 49 days until MLB The Show 26 is here. Releasing March 17th, 2026. Early access on the 13th. In case you missed that, because Sony is the most annoying company and they put it in a blog post and not in the trailer. So if you would like, you can shorten your countdown. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the countdown. I guess I could do something with it, because that thing above me is just a still image. I wanted to do something more with it, but my computer gets worse by the day. When the W-2s show up, it is like calling tax places. Hello, taxes, do them, please. Please, for the love of God. That is in for a strike on the inside corner. That'll be strike 3. I saw the 11-minute video in my feed. Just got home from work, but the live was going already. Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. It's one of the toughest things as like a content creator to like balance and to go like, it sucks that videos aren't doing better because it makes people, I think it makes people feel like, I should be doing more. And it's like, no, everybody's doing enough. I just want it to do better because I'm proud of the content. That's it. I appreciate any amount of video that people are watching. I appreciate it. I think it might be worth maybe just cutting it into shorts next year. But it's all good. It's all good. Please don't ever feel like you need to do more. You don't. You're great. You're here. You're active in chat. You're commenting. You're very kind. You're doing he can do better. We can talk about people doing more and doing better. That catcher can do better. How did he miss that? That ends the inning. Okay, never mind. It was one pitch. It's fine. 2 hits for the Cubs. Gomes, Posada, and Torres as we head to the home half of the second. So this pitcher for the Cubs got through the first couple batters not too terribly. And astonishingly good for the record at 1-11. So what, 49 days, he minus what, 4? So 45 days until MLB The Show 26. That's exciting. Friday the 13th, get excited. I'll be here, 10 a.m. I'll be doing it all day. Will there be card packs and alcohol involved? Probably. That's not a strike. I know a lot of times we go, I don't know about the camera. I don't know. Our angle looks a little weird. It looks a little weird. You tell me. Not even close. At no point ever. That's a helmet tapper right there. Should be a 2-0 count, but it is 1-1. No score here in the bottom of the second. Here's the wind in. The pitch, it is drilled foul. Sorry. Ball. You know what? That gives me 49 days to buy a Mariners jersey that fits correctly. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Did not get any favors from the umpire there. I'm sure he is not happy with that at bat. And because of the previous call, that pitch looked like it was again way on the inside. He gets a strike called on a real funky spot. Do you have to go for it again? Kinda. Ideally not, but it is what it is. That'll be rolled to the shortstop. Bobbles it. Oh no! He's still out. Wow. That's a rarity. Out by about a step. Andres Torres, San Francisco Giant. He's batting .391. See what Torres can do here against the lefty. Throws a big looping curveball, misses for a ball. The lefty winds and fires low for a ball. Two and oh. The Phillies have a little two-out damage here. No, not on that pitch. 3-0. That stayed outside. Is this a hands? It's got to be a hands-off controller, right? And hey, that's a good time to leave the hands off the controller. Comes out, gives him a little tap. Hey, buddy, you got this. Look, we know you're 1-11. We only have 20-something losses, but you're like half of them. But you got this. Brandon Inge stepping in. How aggressive does Philly want to be if he can pick up a hit? Oh, we might not have to be that aggressive because that might go. It is and out. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I got excited. I thought that might get out, but it did not. J.D. Drew comes up with a nice catch in right field. Chicago with 2 hits. And this pitcher, who has an abysmal record at literally 1-11, has held the Philadelphia Phillies to 0 hits and just issued the walk. We'll bring up Ricky Weeks. Watched a couple of Cubs Braves games. The Cubs had an abysmal batting average. I think it was under 100 for 3 games, which technically would be 1 full game. But either way, like it was very bad. Here comes the 0-1. It is smacked up the first baseline. Foul. The righty fires and misses low and outside for a ball. One and two. That is going to be rolled. Picked up and fired over to first in time for the out. There's one gone here in the top of the third. Phillies kind of playing with their food a little bit with how bad the Cubs offense was in the last series and how good the Phillies have been all season long. Like they really need to just put a couple swings together. They should be able to get out of here with a victory, but sometimes we see this with the team that feels like they should win. They mess about and find out. On the hop in time for out number 2. Green Bay Packers. Would you like to? Speaking of Chicago teams that suck, Martin Prado was 0 for 1 today. He'll step up with 2 outs. That is inside for a ball. And that's on the outside edge for a strike. Swung on and missed. That is foul at the first base line. Two and two, 2 outs. Can the Cubs get anything going here in the top of the third? No. Swung on and missed. So we will head to the home half. Phillies, they just need one swing. Kapler, Punto, Shin, Su, Chu coming up here. They got the one walk. That's their only base runner. Lefty is ready. Oh, that might do it. It's out towards left field. Oh, it's actually just going to be off the wall. It hits the 369 mark. Is it going to be a triple? No, it's a stand-up double. And just like that, Philadelphia comes up with a big hit. If Chicago loses this game 1-0, it is not the pitcher's fault. Of the then 12 losses he would have, we can vouch. We can say, hey, look, that loss in Philadelphia, he only gave up a run. He doesn't have to drag along this terrible offense. Like, here's the wind and the pitch. It's low for a ball. You lose it in walk-off fashion to one of the teams that's been the best all season long. There's no moral victories in sports, but sometimes kind of. I think it depends on the team. That'll be rolled to the shortstop. Scoops it cleanly, which is an improvement over the last time he had to field the ball. One away. And a nice job to at least make sure that the runner doesn't... Like, yeah, you gave up some contact, whatever. It's not even a productive out. Shin Su Chu, a 294 average. He'll look to end this game. Something in the grass might send him all the way around. Not exactly sure what the speed is. He'll take a pitch inside for a ball. Nice take. Lefty winds and fires. Ooh, that's I'd argue a generous strike on the outside edge. Here comes the 1-1. It is low. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from the lefty inside, makes it 3-1. Winning run on second. Oh, big swing and a miss. Full count. I mean, if they could get the runner to third, Not gonna do it. Yeah, mainly because he's not even back on second by the time the ball hit the glove. Okay, I mean, hey, we talked about the pitcher. It's not his fault. He's been throwing well. This is why you would say that. Gave up a leadoff double. He's worked 2 outs that were not productive. Here comes the 1-0. Inside for a ball. The 2-0 misses inside for a ball as well. Here comes the 3-0. Okay, in for a strike on the outside. This is a batter's count in this game, 3-1. Winning run is on second. The lefty winds and fires. It is sky high. The catcher is going to come out and field this one. And we will head to the top of the 4th. Philadelphia picks up a leadoff double, and then it's a ground out to shortstop, which prevents the runner from second advancing. It is a pop out to the second baseman, I believe, in right field. That didn't give anybody any opportunity to do anything. And then a sky-high pop out to the catcher. This Phillies team, maybe they're lucky they're playing the Cubs, who aren't batting well themselves. But they are getting out hit by the Cubs, so what the hell am I talking about, you know? Here's the wind and the pitch. Tulowitzki is going to drive that into center field. It'll be a leadoff single, and the Cubs put the go-ahead run on first. J.D. Drew is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. It's outside for a ball. Gets a strike on that outside corner. One and one. Runner in motion. Safe. That was almost like really good to really bad for the Cubs because of that slide. It just kills the momentum of the base stealer. That'll be lifted out towards left. He's running away from third base. They'll tag at second. Here's the throw in. It's cut off and safe. I'd like to see a better path and a better run animation from the Phillies left fielder to try to maybe get behind it. You don't necessarily have to run into that throw, but just position yourself so that when you catch it, you're looking that way rather than like, I'm over here or I'm kind of here, and then having to move and throw. Wind and the pitch is fouled away. So Chicago with a great opportunity here to take a lead late. We are in extras in the top of the 4th. An 0-1 with one away. And foul. Oh, he probably wants that pitch back. That could have been it. But alas, it is a foul ball to make it 0-2. That is low and outside for a ball. 1-2. That is... Oh, that'll give him the lead. The infielders parted ways. Like Moses standing there going, separate. Separate. A hit. Phillies will head to the bullpen. And it'll be Jeremy Affeldt. 10 games, 1-1 record, 1 save, 2.92 ERA, 12.1 innings pitched, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Nailed it. Derek Barton's 1 for 1 with a single. Looking to keep this going as the Cubs break through in the top of the 4th. That is outside for a ball. The 1-0 is ready. They're going to put a runner in motion yet again. He is out. So the Cubs get aggressive with base running yet again. It worked the first time, does not work the second time, and just like that, 2 gone. And the bases are all empty. This is popped out towards the left. Does the left fielder have a shot at it? No. 2 rows deep. They hit somebody right in the lap. Here comes the 1-2. It is going to be hit out towards center field. And that'll do it for the top half of the 4th. But the Cubs come away with 1. It is 1-0. Morneau, Gomes, and Posada. Last 3 for the Philadelphia Phillies. Do they stick with the batter or the pitcher who has 11 losses? They will. Justin Morneau, .317 average, 4 home runs, 12 RBI on the season. Morneau 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Lefty-lefty matchup here to start the home half of the 4th. That didn't get the call. I guess just a little outside. It's 1-0. That is outside for a ball. Lefty is ready, winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. Three and 0. And he misses low. Oh no. Oh no. The walk puts the tying run at first. The winning run now. Just a swing away from swinging this in the favor of the Phillies. Johnny Gomes. He doesn't have any home runs this season. Only a couple RBI. Can the lefty come up big? Chicago gave him just a little run support. And he doesn't get the call. I don't know where this umpire's zone is. Maybe that was a little high. He has his stance is a little bit lower, so I can kind of see why it would be a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one definitely a ball. No problem. I'd get that. 2-0. He's got to find the zone here. I think Chicago might have needed to go to the bullpen before they came into this 4th inning. As the lefty. Boy, oh boy. Because was it a 4-pitch walk? I mean, it was a pretty easy walk for the leadoff batter. And there's no reason for Philly to swing at all. Not this batter, not even the next batter. 3-0. And that is a walk, a 4-pitch walk. Jorge Posada Oh boy, a bad position to be in. His batting average looks great. Tying run at second, winning run at first. Posada, yeah, nice and patient. I don't know why Chicago is not getting into the bullpen. This guy, I don't think he's thrown a strike in this inning. I mean, Posada realistically might need to let him not just throw 1, but 2 strikes. Instead, he'll roll to that one to the third baseman. Fires to first in time. Posada with a productive out. Puts the winning run in scoring position. Andres Torres worked a walk earlier. I'm a little surprised at how aggressive Posada was in that at-bat, just considering how easy the walks had been before him. Oh, I heard that bat crack and I saw the camera flip. But alas, it is a foul ball. 0-1. 2 on, 1 gone. Bottom 4. That is inside for a ball. He cannot possibly walk the bases loaded. There is too high a likelihood right now that if he walks the bases loaded, he will walk in a run. That'll be out towards center field, so that will tie the game. We'll send a runner from second to third as well. He's in safe. Winning run 90 feet away. I mean, a good job by Philadelphia to at least respond. Brandon Inge. Orange? They say Inge. Can he come through with 2 outs? Here's the wind and the pitch. It is way low for a ball. Good eye, 1-0. Gets a strike call at the knees, right over the plate. One and one. And it's game! Oh, Chicago is in a good position to win, but the Phillies flipped the script in the bottom of the 4th. Oh, the pitcher for the Cubs is going to fall to 1-12. He couldn't quite get the job done. Really lost command there in the bottom of the 4th. Just way too many balls. The offense did not help him. They gave him 1 run of support in the top of the 4th. Gabe Kapler is your player of the game. 1 for 1 with a double. Jeremy Effeldt goes to 2-1. You can see there Doug Davis falls to 1-12. The Cubs fall in extras 2-1. And we will head to our 4th and final game. We're going back to Colorado for the 4th day in a row. Because boy, do we love watching Rockies baseball on this channel, apparently. They're good. They have good matchups. It's hard to argue, you know? Wow. Cubs out-hit the Phillies. Oh, God. Again, you would look at it and you'd still go, like, wasn't necessarily his fault. I think it's a little tougher to ignore that after the 4th inning because he just could not find the strike zone. And we watched 3 games in a row here, so we don't have any scores to catch up on. The Braves are playing the Rockies. Just a reminder of the storyline that we're working with here. The Braves are 2 games back in the NL East and the NL Wild Card. The NL East is tied, or was tied going into that last game, that Phillies game, between the Phillies and the Marlins. And it's a 3-way tie for second place in the National League Wild Card. Yeah. And the Rockies are at a spot where the representative from the NL West is going to have to win the NL West. As we welcome you on into Colorado. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, the content. We'll be back tomorrow with more action. Braves are 33-26. The Rockies 34-27. I will flip this thumbnail unless my whole system breaks. Danny Worth is the shortstop for Atlanta. Then you have Gabby Sanchez at first, Josh Hamilton in left, Andrew Jones in center, Jeff Francoeur in right, Howie Kendrick at second, Ross Glode is the DH, Mark Teahan at third, and A.J. Przinsky behind the dish. Starting pitcher for the Rockies, Madison Bumgarner's 3-8 with a 5.28 ERA, 12 games, 30.2 innings pitched, 36, 8, and 17. Yeesh. That record is really worrying, especially for a team that doesn't have a lot of distance between themselves and the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's probably the other note that I should have written, was like the fact that the Diamondbacks are right on the heels of the Rockies. Here's the lefty, and he misses just outside for a ball. We're underway here in Colorado, game 4 of the day. MLB The Show 26 cover release / release date reveal day. Though it's not really the most surprising. They're kind of on a nice rhythm over the last couple of years since they added all those consoles in. I think that maybe the most surprising thing is that it's Nintendo Switch 1 still, no Switch 2. But some of the rumors are that the Switch 2 dev kits have been difficult to come by because Nintendo's been very picky with who they're giving it to, and a baseball game might not be... A baseball game from a rival console maker might not be high on that list. A leadoff hit brings up Gabby Sanchez, who's batting .202. Here's the pitch. It is low. So we might have that funky Braves lineup. Hold on, let me look at it. The Braves played the Cubs earlier, a couple days ago, against the lefty, and yeah, this is the lineup that they used. So what was weird about the lineup is they have Danny Worth and Gabby Sanchez, 2 right-handed hitters. Then they have the lefty and Josh Hamilton, and then it's 3 straight righties with Jones, Francoeur, and Kendrick. As that pitch... Okay, I don't know why that pitch has been so inconsistent. That is a ball. And it felt like in that Cubs game, as we watched the umpire, just absolutely unreal. That went through his knee, and they called it a strike. What are we doing, game? What are we doing? We can't be doing that. 2-1. It seemed like they're going to put the runner in motion, and it is spoiled foul. The Braves wanted that 4, 5, 6 to be the guys that got the runs. Jones, Francoeur, and Kendrick, and they came through against the Cubs, and then just like 3 lefties to just go like, hey, I'll just watch... I'll just get the Switch version if it's compatible with the S2 and play it on my Switch 2. That's a good point. Sorry, I had my thing up, if that was there for a second. There should be 2 men on instead of a strike. Absolutely. Well, thankfully it didn't cost them anything because they're going to be able to score a run on an RBI double. So, mercifully, we're good. I wonder how much the Switch 2 would boost the performance of the Switch version. Because I played MLB, I think I own MLB The Show 22 on Switch, and it's a game. Swung on and missed. So the top of this Braves lineup coming through against a pitcher in Bumgarner who doesn't have a great ERA or record. Nobody out, a runner on second. That might be the most generous strike call we've seen. That went through his knee. Last year's was compatible from day one. Oh, good. Compatible, though, not the same as specifically made for it. Fouled away. So that's where my surprise is. Shout out to backwards compatibility, though. A thing that we just kind of got rid of for a while. Like, Xbox made like a big deal about it, and we're like, oh yeah. That is really cool that you can buy a PlayStation 2 and you have access to 2 entire libraries of games. Cool. S2 launch. No, it was made for the Switch 1. One and two, lefty. He did not go. Okay, I got a little worried there. I was like, they're not going to call that. That'd be maybe the second worst call that the Braves get. Well, I'm glad that there's the lefty fires. Did you notice that there was a difference on Switch 2 for MLB The Show? Like, even just running it through like a backward compatibility. Andrew Jones stepping in, 253. He has no home runs, but 16 RBI. And he'll put that to the shortstop. Shortstop on a hop to first. Nice play by the first baseman to snag that. To pick up out number 2. Jeff Francoeur, 394 average, 6 RBI. Lefty. Ooh, that is out towards center field. Ballpark's gonna hold it. That'll be about a step away from the warning track. Atlanta picks up 2 hits. They score 1 run. Mercifully for the Braves, the horrible strike call does not affect them. They're still able to get that batter on base. It was a run-scoring double. Shane Victorino, as we introduce you to the Colorado Rockies starting lineup. Victorino will lead things off, center fielder. Stephen Drew is playing shortstop. Torrey Hunter in right. Carlos Pena at first. Mark Reynolds at third. John Jaso is behind the dish. Juan Rivera in left. Bill Hall at second. And Michael Saunders is the DH. Aaron Cook is 1-7. 6.07 ERA, 11 games, 29.2 innings, 39.14. I didn't catch that last number, so a couple of maybe not great pitchers. 39.14 and 16 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Speaking of the Phillies, who were in the previous game against a pitcher from the Cubs who was 1-11, it's Shane Victorino. We get ready to face the right-hander.
Come on, nice one, man.
What? Come on, nice one, eh? Hey! Hey, bada. And that's fouled away. Foul ball. Foul ball. 1-1. And fouled away again. That is a rolled over foul. Bullpen Bantered Baseball, YouTube baseball content channel. It's a couple of Mariners fans. Oh. They do a lot of trivia stuff. That is hit well. That's to right field. I got really excited, but it's a routine fly ball. Just every answer. Ken Griffey Jr. Which pitcher? Ken Griffey Jr. You know what? It's surprising that they have not tried to bring him in for any sort of, like, coverage. Thinking about that. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is fouled away. Because, I mean, they probably couldn't afford him if we're being honest. But it is interesting they didn't try to bring him in local. The root sports stuff. Maybe they knew that it wasn't long for the world because it is going over to MLB. But, I mean, today they announced Rick Riz is stepping down after more than my lifetime in the booth. 40-something years. All about baseball, not just the Mariners. They don't hide the fact that they're Mariners fans. Excellent. Which Colorado Rocky? Ken Griffey Jr. Foul ball. Which umpire? Ken Griffey Jr. 1-2. Bottom of the first, one out. Atlanta leads 1-0. As that misses low. That is hit to the second baseman, who scoops it up and fires over to first. That is out number 2. This Rockies team did have a bit of trouble against the Florida Marlins. Hope that they're not running into a cold stretch right towards the end of the season, last couple of weeks. The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Low inside corner. Nice location. And gets ahead of Torrey Hunter. Rockies really only had one good inning against the Marlins. That one stays inside for a ball. It was the bottom of the first inning in game number 2. They scored 4 runs. Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about. First couple of games in that series were fun to watch, though. Hunter smacks that one foul. 1-2. And spoils it foul again. 1-2. And foul ball. Aside for a brief 2-year stint in Detroit, Riz has been a part of the Mariners broadcast team since '83, except for spending 92 to 94 in Detroit. Traitor. Safe at first. Weird the Detroit years are in the middle. Yeah, that is weird. Thank you for that, Dave. That's why you're the head of research. We tip our cap. I mean, even if you take those 2 Detroit years out, like, that's more than mine. That's insane. In for a strike. Be interesting to see who they replace him with. I don't know. With it going to MLB, I'm excited because it'll be like, I'm excited to pay for the subscription again, which is a bizarre thing to say. Out. And that'll retire the side. The root sports stuff started a little rough at the beginning of last year, but got better as the year went along. So I watched quite a bit of the games, just willing to pay $20 a month, like whatever. So I'm curious to see how that what kind of changes they make for the MLB stuff. I think the big thing for me is that the MLB TV has an app on console. It's probably not great, but that is outside for a ball. And Bumgardner falls behind here in the top of the second. Atlanta up 1-0. I'm curious to see how much of the team sticks around and for how long. Because I think Jen Mueller is gone as well. They brought a lot of the people along, I think. Here's the lefty inside. Well, we can look it up. Oh, actually, they just posted a... Hold on. Where's... Fouled away. Hold on, where's... Let's see, what's... Mariners? That is caught in center field. Seattle Mariners. I just would like the account. Lineup. Broadcast contributors. So broadcaster, Rick Riz, Aaron Goldsmith, Angie, Gary Hill Jr., Ryan Roland Smith. Broadcast contributors, Jay Buhner, Brad Adam, and Dave Val. Is that for the radio? Or for the... I don't know. Kruk and... We're doing the entire... Culp. That is fouled away. Kruk and Culp were doing the Giants my whole life. Well, not really my whole life, but as long as I can remember. That's fair. Over the first baseman's glove. Oh my goodness. The crowd going through a rash of emotions there. Oh, ow, oh. As the hit was made, no. Over the first baseman's glove, no. The right fielder bobbled it, no. Lefty fouls it away. There's another pitch. That one's going to get the top side of the zone for a strike. 0-2. One away. Lefty, lefty. Swung on and fouled away. That's foul. No foul. Foul ball. 0-2. That is foul ball. We got to follow the umpire's lead. Wait till the ball hits something and then determine if it's foul, even though it clearly is. That is low.
They're gonna hit run.
And the 1-2 is hit into the right field. It'll just advance the lead runner a base. So runners on first and second, just one gone. The Braves doing a nice job here using those lefties to get, to at least get something going. A.J. Przinsky, he's batting 139. And this Braves lineup feels like it's like, hey, we'll take the one lefty-lefty matchup in the 3 spot. Righties are going to have to do a lot, and we're going to shove the other lefties to the bottom of the lineup. We'll see what he can do here. It's a very bad batting average. Takes a strike to start things out, 0-1. Wind and the pitch, fouled away. 0-2. And drives that into right field. It's a shallow hit. Oh, they're going to send the runner home. The right fielder comes up with it. And out at the plate. Wow, nice throw. Surprisingly aggressive base running there. As we kind of watch him, like, weirdly go in, hands first. Danny Worth is 1 for 1 with a single. He came around to score. Working with a runner in scoring position here. That is outside for a ball. That's also outside for a ball. 2-0. Atlanta looking for a little two-out damage. I am surprised that they sent those runners around second and third for that very reason. The ball didn't get super deep into the outfield. Probably would have turned into a double play anyway, so. Atlanta threatens a little bit, but gets turned away. It remains a 1-0 game. 5 hits, just the 1 run to show for it. Hey, been there, Atlanta. Colorado's 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up next. I guess Carlos Pena would still be at the plate because they threw the runner out attempting to steal to end the inning last time. That is inside for a ball. A couple pitchers not performing particularly well this year, facing off in today's game. You look at it and you go, man, 2 teams are vying for all these playoff positions, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just 2 guys going, we're not doing well. Gets that inside corner for a strike. 1-1. Wind and the pitch is low. Two and 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Ooh, he gets that outside edge. 2-2. Pretty passive at bat here for the Rockies. Of course, he's been on kind of the edges or just like way outside, so maybe zip it, Sean? Oh my God. Okay, that time, I know, look, I know I said he's pretty passive. Maybe it's okay. With 2 strikes, you got to swing. It's right at the knees. This Rockies team going to fall apart down the stretch and miss the playoffs? That's inside for a ball. Stay tuned to find out. Here comes the 1-0. Righty winds and fires. Big swing and a miss. A pitch down low and away. Probably a ball if he takes it. At least he's trying. He's hoping to get something that he can figure out. Pitcher misses that one pretty far outside. And at least he swung at that pitch. I mean, it was pretty competitive. But you're more than likely looking at a 3-0 count. 3-1's not terrible. Power Wash Sim this week, or are you doing something else on Thursday? Oh, it'll be House Flipper 2. And that stays way upstairs. Hey, he threw the big swing. Didn't end up costing him. He's still in first with a walk. That one's not even close. If that was on the inside, it would have been strike 2, but... John Jaso will be stepping up. And low for a ball. Oh, they're going to put a runner in motion. Nicely done. I thought it was going to be a swing under it. Colorado with a nice aggressive base running, safe at third. Bop that into right field. Ah, you love seeing it executed well. Especially against a pitch that looked like it was kind of going up in the zone, even though that technically is impossible. But had good ride through the zone. Batter able to get to it. Tying run 90 feet away. Ooh, boy, are they going to send him? It's in foul territory. They will not. Runners will stay on the corners. And it'll be up to Bill Hall to try and drive him in. That is inside for a ball. That's inside for a strike. All of the funky, like, way off the plate strikes so far have been two right-handed batters. That is going to be rolled. They will get the out. Oh, he's just barely out at first. Colorado is so close to tying this game, but instead they will send it to the top of the third. 1-0 Atlanta. Wow. We should be able to take a look at a replay. All right. Here we go. We're at first base. We're zooming in. This freaking game, this controller, everything's a disaster. It's almost like the PlayStation 2 wasn't meant to be used for 20 years. 25 years almost. Oh, he was out? Okay. Actually, 25 years, because I forget it came out in 2000. Granted, this game only 15 years old. So, some would say more broken than some 20-year-old games. Out by about a step. So Atlanta will hold on to a 1-run lead, and they will get a leadoff hit. 1 pitch, 1 swing, and a single to go along with it. Josh Hamilton 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The lefty is ready. Steps toward the plate. Fires that one well outside for a ball. Josh Hamilton. The lone lefty of the first 6 batters. Be a bunch of righties after this. Atlanta looking for a little insurance. And that one's outside. Two and 0. Ooh, strike at the top of the zone. I'd say it's a good take by Hamilton. You bank on it maybe drifting a little further outside, maybe sailing a little up. It's a nice location. I think you can kind of tip your hat a little bit. And especially when you get another pitch like that, that's pretty easy to spit on. 3 and 1. It's a strike on the inside corner. Hamilton hasn't taken the bat off the shoulder. 2 strikes, both of them right on the edges. Otherwise, it's been 3 balls. Here's a payoff pitch. And that is ball 4. Thought about it, but able to hold back. That'll put a runner on second. Andrew Jones is 0 for 1. Love to put another RBI on that 16 RBI. The lefty stays upstairs and gets a ball. Here comes the 1-0, and it is low for a ball. And that one stays outside for a ball. Oh my goodness. So 3-0, Bumgarner laboring here, and that's strike one, 3-1. See if Jones wants to take a rip at anything. Hamilton did a good job to keep the bat on his shoulder. Only thought about the last pitch. It was still ball 4. He'll take a strike on the outside. Maybe a little too passive here. Granted, Bumgarner threw 3 straight balls to Jones. Here's the lefty. Gets him swinging and missing. Oh, boy. Jones down on strikes after being ahead 3-0. It's a really nice location. 89 miles an hour on the 4-seam fastball. The timing is perfect, but just not looking in the right spot. They will head to the bullpen to bring in a righty. Jensen Lewis, 5 games, a 1-1 record. 1 save with a 10.8 ERA. 3-1. 3.1 innings pitched, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Jeff Francoeur, 0 for 1. That is outside for a ball. In for a strike. One and one gone. 2 on with a 1-0 lead. That's going to be rolled to the shortstop. Fires to second for 1. In time to first for 2. The double play ends it. And that will send us to the home half of the third. It's 1-0. Shoot. Well, prepare to look at animated me here for a little bit, because I... Oh, and 1. Oh my gosh. My nose has been a mess over the last couple of days. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. And with that swing, we are now at a 3-2 count. Here comes a payoff pitch to the leadoff batter. See if the Rockies can do anything. They do enough defensively, and a good take there on the pitch low and outside. Shane Victorino 0 for 1. There's your bloop. Here could be your blast, and you could swing this game in your favor. It'll be a wild way to end it today. Line and the pitch. Ooh. Don't know about that call. 0-1. And Victorino splashes that one foul. Oh! Victorino dumps that into right. The runner will advance to second. Tying run at second. Winning run at first. Nice at bat for Victorino. To bring in Stephen Drew. What can he do here in the bottom of the third? He will dump that into left field. It is a foul ball. Oh, it just drifted foul. 0-1, a long strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is hit right back up the middle. It'll be 1 at second. Safe at first. I don't know why he did that. That was a very weird decision on his part. The double play is still in order for this Atlanta defense. Here's the wind and the pitch. Now, Torrey Hunter has been in a position where he has been able to flip the script or help get his team some extra runs, and he just went swinging the whole time. See if he exercises any control. As the righty winds and fires, it'll be driven into left field. It's going to be 1. Not in time for 2. This game is still alive. 1-1. The Rockies tie it. And you look at the funky decision, it's not really his fault. And maybe it is. If he was the one who didn't throw it to second to try and get the turn to first the first time. And this game really likes punishing teams who do not get the double play turn correctly. The winning run is at first base. Pitch stays high and outside for a ball, 1-0. Righty fires, and that is fouled away. That is to third base. That'll be out number 3, but we are heading to extras. The Rockies tie it 1-1. Atlanta really struggling to do a whole lot on offense. 6 hits, just the 1. Eesh. Howie Kendrick. So welcome to extras here. Second game in a row. Last one was just a 4-inning game. And the ball is in low, or the pitch is in low, excuse me, for a strike. Maybe a little surprising that it was... It looked a touch low to me. Here comes the 0-1. That is right to first base for the outs. I mean, it's an excellent job by this Rockies defense just kind of sticking around, hoping that their offense can come through eventually, or hope that they can come through on the offensive side. And huge, you go back to the decision to send both runners around. I don't think it really affected the game all that much because realistically, Atlanta's defense still would have been able to turn a double play with the bases loaded rather than just runners on first and second or on the corners or whatever it was. So I don't think it was that big of a deal. But also at the same time, we'll never know. 2-0. The righty is ready. He fires that low for a ball. Here comes the 3-0, and he'll take that. He hands off the controller. Let it be what it is. Three and one. Drives that one foul.
No, that's foul.
That's foul. And it'll be right to the third baseman, who fires over to first. The long throw across the diamond is in time. It's one away. Atlanta scored a run very early in this game. They scored a run with nobody out in the first inning, and they haven't been able to do anything since. It's been a funky one here in Colorado. And we get more and more thankful for the quick Yankees victory in the first game. Here's a wind and the pitch. It's fouled away. One pitch, one swing, one foul ball for an 0-1 count. Two gone. The righty winds and fires, swung under at that time. 0-2. And rolled up the first base line. First baseman comes up with it, and a bit of a funky animation, but steps on the bag, and that will retire the side. I guess I was out number 2. My apologies. Reynolds, Jaso, and Rivera coming up for Colorado. See if they can end this thing in 4. Reynolds worked a walk the first time he was up. That's outside for a ball. And that's inside for a ball. Two and oh. The righty winds and fires. Swung on and missed. Big swing at the 2-0. It was inside. More than likely going to be a ball. Though with that kind of a pitch on the right to a right-handed hitter, you never know. Oof. Oh, man. Got the edge. 2-2. Instead of what the batter was hopefully... Or I'm probably anticipating what was going to be, that was going to be a 3-1. And it'll be rolled to the first baseman. He's there. Pitcher covers in time for out number 1. Wonder if this is a game where we're just not going to see a whole lot of offense. I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of offense. We've seen some bizarre decisions here and there, but I wonder if this is going to be one of those drag out games, but I don't know. They're going to the bullpen to bring in a lefty, Chris Ray, a 5.31 ERA in 17 games, a 3.2 record with 1 save, 20.1 innings pitched, 10 walks, 16 strikeouts. We'll see what they can do here. John Jaso 1 for 1 with a single. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Happy Tuesday. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 p.m. More action for you. Got the outside edge. 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Ugh, man. He's nailing some spots in this zone. 0-2. And that is popped out, foul territory, out number 2. My goodness. I don't think there was any really anything for him to hit there, but boy, was he passive in that at bat until he absolutely had to swing. That's why I kind of rolled my head and just kind of, just somebody do something, please. These are the games that are so frustrating. That is outside. Now, the pitcher I do think got helped on one of those strike calls. I mean, he was really riding the edge on the first 2 pitches. Went ahead 0-2. It's nothing to be, too mad about. If he's getting the location, he's getting the location. Whew, big swing and a miss there. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is swung on and missed. Oh my God. Do either of these teams want to win this game? You're looking at pitchers who aren't even playing well. They have bad ERAs. They have bad win-loss records. That pitch misses outside. 2-2, I believe the count now. Should be what it is. 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. With one swing here, Colorado can end it. Don't necessarily trust them to get multiple swings in a row with 2 gone. And that's rolled foul at the third baseline. Way outside. Full count. Here comes the 3-2. And it's going to be up the line into left field. It should just be a single. He maybe thought about the big turn, but he'll turn back. And a winning run now on first base. All of a sudden, the motion looks a little bit different. That looked like a genuinely different animation than the last pitches we saw, but that must be his pitch style with a runner on. Maybe he should go back to the other way, or maybe I'm just seeing things. Either way, it's 2-0. Colorado's going to do something here in the bottom of the 4th. They're going to have to do it with 2 outs. It is off the glove into right field. They will hold the runner at second. Smart move, as that is a nice throw from right field. They got a kind of a gracious break. Falling asleep, good night. If I disappear, well, good night. Thank you for watching, hanging out. Appreciate you. So with 2 outs, here's the lefty, and we're going to the 5th. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 lob. 5 hits for Colorado, 6 hits for Atlanta, 2 total runs scored. It is one of those frustrating things where it feels like you have a little momentum. You got a little rhythm going with your offense, getting some hits, and then here's the one. I mean, we are in that situation so frequently during regular MLB The Show seasons. We finally have runners on. We're either down or we're tied, looking for some runs, and we do nothing with the first two at-bats. Maybe put some runners on, 2 gone, and then here's just the most awful third out. Colorado misses an opportunity in the bottom of the 4th. We'll see if it comes back to bite them. Could say the same thing about the Braves. They had kind of a funky opportunity earlier as well. Though we've talked about it, and I don't know. Did they get it? Does it matter? Who knows? That will be into right field. The thing about this is that the teams are kind of just getting singles. I mean, even if you look at the run that got scored in the bottom of the 3rd by Colorado, it was like a couple infield hits that they couldn't turn for double play. Pardon me. That they couldn't turn for double plays. It wasn't like Colorado was knocking out, a double and then scoring them with a double. That is a strike on the inside. 0-1. That's fouled away. Ooh, interesting. A ball on the outside. That's inside. Two and two. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low. Fills up the count. Payoff pitch on the way. Atlanta looking for the go-ahead run here in the top of the 5th. We're in extras. Here in MLB 11, the show on PlayStation 2. And he will leave that into left again. It's just going to be based like station to station. This is what I'm talking about. They're not getting those big hits that send the runners all that far. Like, we saw a really nice hit and run earlier. I think that was in this game. Maybe I'm losing it. That was in a different game. Gabby Sanchez is 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Hey, there's a double. That's what we need. We need somebody hitting something. But at least if it's not a double play, he can still try to get the runner from 2nd to 3rd. There's nobody out. It's a good take low for a ball. One and oh. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is high and inside. I think it's that high inside corner. I say high and inside. That I feel like that implies a ball, but it is a strike. 1-1. The wind and the pitch. Oh my God. The pitches that they are chasing are so bad. They just ran out of patience. Again, we saw this with Colorado in the last half inning. They get something going, a couple runners on, and it's just a really bad out. Now, Atlanta does have... They can work with that. Hamilton, oh boy. Hamilton spoils that one. Foul. But now you're a double play away from, being out of this inning. Whereas, I guess technically he did avoid the double play. So it gives them extra chances, but you can't rely on that. That pitch low and inside for a ball. See if Hamilton can dump something into the grass and get, is that Przinski, I think? Maybe? See if they can get him around. 1-1 game here in the top of the fifth. The wind and the pitch is inside for a ball. Hamilton did work a walk earlier in this game. 2-2. And here's the wind and the pitch well outside. 3-2. So I don't think you want to walk the bases loaded, especially with just one out, because then you could just drive something into right field and get a sacrifice fly. Well, let's see what happens. Here's the 1-2. Hamilton fouls it off to stay alive. Or the 1-2, the 3-2. Another payoff pitch on the way. Here's outside for a ball. Hamilton with excellent eyes today. That'll walk the bases loaded. There is one gone. It'll be a righty. They'll go to the bullpen. They'll bring in a righty. Clay Hensley, 2 games, no record, 1 save, no ERA in 3.2 innings pitched. He's issued 1 walk and struck out 1 batter. Andrew Jones is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's batting .247. No home runs, 16 RBI. RBI number 17 could potentially give them a win. Ooh, we missed it. Oops. The wind and the pitch. Jones pulls that one foul again. 0-2. Jones pulls it foul again. And takes the ball high. That's a really good take. That's a situation where, like, if we swing kind of like that a couple of times, it's like, ah, shoot, we're in out of swing mode. Gotta hit down on the D-pad, take that timeout, try to reset ourselves to the best of our ability. Here's the wind and the pitch. Jones pulls that one foul up the third baseline. Foul ball after foul ball after foul ball. It's 1-2. 1 out. Wind, pitch, swung on and missed. Atlanta has the bases loaded. They still have an opportunity. Will they get him to swing over the top of that one? He is 0 for 3 on the day. And that'll bring up Jeff Francoeur, who's not batting all that much better. 0 for 2 so far. Can he come up with the run? It has to get down somewhere. That ball stays down. It's 1-0. And right at the bottom of the zone at the knees. 1-1. And that'll do it. Okay, they'll score 1. Do they send the runner around third? No, they do not. So the single does the trick. It is 2-1 Atlanta. It is kind of interesting because this game does punish the lack of a double play sometimes, but they got the strikeout and the pop out. That shouldn't count. They got the pop out and the strikeout, to be specific on how they got it. But it is a nice piece of hitting. Got it into left field. That's about the only thing they could do. It had to get down. The righty winds and fires inside for a ball. Atlanta has racked up so many hits in this game. And that will bring in a couple more at least. I don't think they'll send that second runner. They will not. So, just like that, they are able to double their run total, 2-4. And it is now 4-1. That was a very poor way to phrase that. I apologize. 4-1 the score. And all of this 2-out damage, by the way. And it'll be rolled to the second baseman. He bobbles it. He comes up with the throw for out number 3, but very nearly a disastrous error. Atlanta has 10 hits on the day, 4 runs scored. Victorino, Drew, and Hunter, the 1-2-3 hitters, coming up for Colorado. They're down 3, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Shane Victorino, 1 for 2 with a single. Righty is ready. He'll wind and fire low. Got to be more aggressive here. Throw it in the zone. Like, you have a 3-run lead to work with. Solo home run doesn't hurt you too bad. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is missed. It misses for a ball. Okay. 2-0. For the love of God, throw it into the zone. Pitchers, throw the ball in the zone. Batters, swing at pitches in the zone. God, this game. MLB 11 is going to break me before MLB 26 even comes out. This is an awful at-bat. Well, it's a great at-bat for Victorino. It's really patient. Nicely done there. But why are you teasing the bottom of the zone so much? You can give up some contact. Come on, man. 3-1. Batters love a 3-1 swing. Whew, boy. Foul ball. Full count. And Victorino drives that right back up the middle somehow. Let's go through the pitcher. Let's take a look at that replay. Something about that looked funky as it came back. Came back to a pitcher who apparently just didn't. Stephen Drew is up next. Right through the leg. Oh, right by him. God dang it, stupid controller. Stop with your drift, please. I mean, the amount of times... Stop drifting. The amount of times that we see a pitcher come up with a fielding animation is, like, surprisingly frequent, but they didn't give it to him that time. Fouled away. Tries to work the outside edge. Gets the swing, but cannot keep it fair. 0-1. I'll check on the runner at first. He's safe. Move it along. They're never out. They've been out like literally once. They have thrown over hundreds of times. Here comes the 0-1. Fouled away. I mean, even if you're the Colorado or the Atlanta Braves and he wants to steal second, like, again, fine. 4-2. I mean, it's still the tying runs on deck either way. That is a nice pitch to induce the swing and miss. Now a double play can end it. It is Torrey Hunter. That was a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. It's outside for a ball. One and one. Wind and the pitch is outside. Hunter takes a pitch on the outside edge of the zone. That is a strike. Strike two. 2-2. One out, a runner on first. Rockies down 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. That is crushed out into left field. Left fielder will come up with it, and the left fielder could maybe get a little bit more on the ball. It's going to be too aggressive on the base running. That is an out, and the Colorado Rockies are... I mean, in that scenario, you have to hold at second. Like, sure, the runner might not matter to Atlanta to make it 4-2. Sure, like whatever, but it matters to you that you have a runner in scoring position and 1 out versus a guy on first with 2 out. That is too aggressive. So the Rockies down to their final out, almost get hit and put the tying run at the plate. Could you imagine if it was a home run? That pitch is a strike. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1, low for a ball. A 4-1 game here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 with 2 out. Runner on first. Atlanta with a big 3-run top of the 5th inning. And that is going to do it. It should be 2 on with just 2 outs, but instead they were way too aggressive. And that will do it. Some funky base running decisions by both teams. And Atlanta comes away with the victory 4-1. Now, depending on the Diamondbacks game, we might have a new leader in the National League West. Rockies have not been playing very well as of late. Their lead in the division has crumbled. They might have given it up. Gabby Sanchez is your player of the game. 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Chris Ray gets the win. 4-2 is his record now. Jensen Lewis falls to 1-2. As you can see, 1 run in the first for the Atlanta Braves. Colorado tied it in the bottom of the 3rd. And then 3 runs for Atlanta in the top of the 5th. And that'll do it. Those are all the games today. Again, super thankful the Yankees took care of business pretty quickly earlier today, which is super helpful because it means that games that go 4 or 5 innings aren't quite as detrimental to the runtime of the stream or how late I have to stay up. I can feel my tummy grumbling a little bit. All right, let's go with this. We'll sim to date. Oh, God, Seattle lost. Ugh, gross. Stop it. Stop it, you idiot Mariners. Okay. Where were we? Phillies Cubs, I believe was the last one. Nationals over the Pirates, 3-2. That's a bit of an upset. The Pirates are playing well. They're in first place in the National League Central. White Sox over the Rays. Okay. Marlins take care of the Astros, 3-0. Reds over the Diamondbacks. That's a big win for Colorado because the Diamondbacks fall to 34-28. The Braves over the Rockies. Because the Diamondbacks and the Rockies were tied going into the day, they both lost. They remain tied leaving the day. That was the last game that we watched. Twins over the Angels. Good news for the Mariners, but actually not really. Mets over the Dodgers. 3-1. Padres over the Cardinals. 3-1. I'm apparently falling asleep here. I cannot process this imagery. Giants win 5-4 over the Brewers. And the Tigers beat the Mariners 5-3. So you have the Mariners 32-28. The Athletics are 32-28. You have a tie in both Western divisions. And we'll see how things proceed as we work our way through the rest of the season. We are 3 weeks and 2 days, 23 days-ish out from getting to the playoffs. And that will do it. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you'd like more, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. Bunch of content went up today. A couple of shorts. Some reaction to the MLB The Show 26 cover athlete reveal. And stand-up comedy video. So a little bit of a weird day of content. We'll have a taste test out for you tomorrow that I need to upload tonight that I recorded earlier. Thursday, we got co-op. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time right here on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex with more MLB 11 The Show on the PlayStation 2. Thanks again for watching. The save is complete. We will see you next time. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.